Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Boy, this place is so desperate, or so desperate. The recruiting age for men and women is now 42 years. They are desperate. This is desperation. And my prediction is going to be if there is a draft, you know, remember these folks that are 42, they're not in the best of shape. I've seen some of these people with these big beer guts and everything. I don't know how they going to get around on a battlefield, but hey, it is what it is. So Donald Trump is at it again, talking about peace talks and all this stuff. And the bottom line is, Iran is just acknowledging that they got stuff from the United States, but they still did not agree to sit down with anybody. And, that says it all. Donald Trump is doing this to keep the stock market up. I know what he's doing. Every time he says, oh, we're coming close, we're talking, and that then everything stays in the green. And that's what all of this is about. He doesn't care whether it's true or not. He just needs to keep the stock market in the green. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ulcers, you know, vision is not as good as it used to be, but hey, that's who they want to put out on the battlefield. That's on them. That's on them. And I was looking, Iran is letting ships go through the Strait of Hormuz, but they got to pay. They got to pay. And they're they're still sticking to their guns where they have to pay in Chinese yuan, right? And ships are passing through and they're paying. So, hey, it is what it is. But the United States and Israel, they said countries that are hostile to Iran are not allowed to pass through, which is Israel and the United States are not allowed in the Straits of Hormuz. But as long as you are not hostile towards Iran, yes, you can go in there now and pay in yuan. And I believe the payment is in American money, $2 million to pass in there. Yeah, they're going to make a killing. They're going to make a killing, y'all. All right. Let me see something here. What's going on here? Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Sorry about that. Looked like for a moment everything went offline, but it looks like it's okay now. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Okay, so let's get into just a little bit of this. Now what? Hold on 1 second. Not the right one. Yeah, here it is. All right, let me undo this. Stop. All right, here's the right one. All right, y'all. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you.
Well, strap your boots and get your parachutes. Did you hear what the Army just imposed? I thought I had a clean slate being Unkinol. Since I'm about to be 31 years of age, they're about to raise the height. They dropped the new enlistment range from the ages of 34 to 42 years of age. You imagine turning 42 years of age this year, you got a whole family, things already surfacing around you, and they give you a call like, hey, you qualify. And they're saying that this is starting April 20th, like if they can't start it today. Why is there a mixtape release to this new news that you're giving us? Hey, I'm going to treat this like jury duty, and I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? They can't lock us all up. You're going to have to find a 43-year-old that's willing to do the job. You know what I mean? 31 wasn't mentioned, but I'm assuming, you know what I mean? They just skipped through all of that, you know, because I'm not fighting for anybody in the files. I'm not fighting for our government. I'm not doing it. They really got to do is all the world leaders get into a room, lock themselves up, and handle it themselves. Why we got to be the bystanders in this thing that's going on? It don't even make logical sense on fighting people that we don't know. That's family. That's family, everybody in the West. Everybody in the East, North, South. I ain't somebody else. I ain't doing it.
That's interesting. 34 to 42. They're raising the age of military eligibility, draft eligibility, to 42. Most people at 42 already think they're handicapped. Does that have anything to do with the fact that Generation Z and Alpha are sucked? I don't know. Just asking the questions. Also, if you smoked a little Mary Jane in your life, they're waiving that. Also, if you've been convicted of beating up your spouse or, a felony, they're waiving that too. Isn't that interesting? I think the war really wants the war. That's the conspiracy theorist in me. And if it's not that, then what is it? Why now? We just had military enlistments in all branches hit their goals way ahead of time. So there's a lot of people in there. So why are they increasing the draft? Yeah, I think the war wants the war. And they're thinking they're going to need some help. Just the conspiracy theorist in me.
Woo! Hey, all of you fucking MAGA who were born between 1984 and 1991, your time to shine is right fucking now. Because the Army just ups its maximum enlistment age to 42. It was previously 35, but those recruitment numbers, they ain't where they need to be, baby. And Trump, he needs some cannon fodder. It increased its maximum enlistment to 42 this month, bringing an ascension policy closer in line with most of the other United States military services, according to an updated service regulation documents published this. Individuals up to the age of 42 with or without prior military service can enlist in the regular Army, the Army National Guard, and the Army Reserves according to the updated Army Regulation 601-210 published on March 20th. Y'all want to make America great again? You want to make America great again? Go fight some fucking wars that you don't want to fight. That's right. Sign the fuck up, enlist, and then go fight some wars you don't want to fight. Looks like they're also gonna take away some of those prior convictions for marijuana use too. So y'all gonna have some fucking fun. This is gonna be fucking great. This rotting fucking corpse is gonna send your boys across the fucking pond because he wants more money. Winning! Woo!
Starting April the 20th, 2026, the Army will now raise their enlistment age to 42. It's usually 34, y'all. 34 years old. But they're saying millennials are young enough. They can come on and join us. I think the fuck not. Baby, it must be real bad because they are removing the waiver requirements for individuals with a single prior conviction or who just does trees. I think it's time to go Studio 54 in this bitch. Line that shit up. Y'all decided to do this shit in March, y'all. March, they decided to make this fucking happen. What happened in March? We went to war. Now, this isn't unusual for the Army to do this because they do it around wartime, trying to get people in with skills, trying to get people who are more experienced. Bitch, my knees fucking crack when I get the fuck out of bed. You got me fucked up. I got scoliosis. I'm flat-footed. I have ADHD. And I'm lazy as shit until I get to the gym. Ain't nobody finna go fight for y'all bitch asses. No disrespect to my family because they've served through all branches. But baby, I'm not the one. I'm a pretty fucking princess, bitch.
Are y'all ready to be drafted? Starting April 20th, 2026, the U.S. Army will raise the maximum enlistment age from 34 to 42 years old and remove the waiver requirement for individuals with a single prior conviction for marijuana possession. You know damn well them enrollment numbers must be extra low for them to have to raise the enlistment age from 34 to 42 years old, because in reality, who wants 42-year-olds serving in the Army? And also, the okie doke is up. A lot of U.S. citizens have peeped game that they're just going to be dying for Israel's war. And who the fuck wants to die for Israel? I know a lot of Americans that don't, but this is what happens when you play the quiet part out loud. You guys have shown time and time again, you don't give a fuck about the average American citizen. And now American citizens are protecting themselves and not enlisting into the Army. And what do y'all do? You guys are going to try and force your will upon people and eventually start this little draft thing. Oh, you can enlist up to 42 to try and get some more desperate people. But at the end of the day, you have tarnished the American reputation in regards to politics and the Army. And a lot of people think we are just tied to Israel and fighting their battles.
So effective April 20th, 2026, the Army is raising their enlistment age from 34 to 42. And I'm not joking. They're saying that starting April 2026, you can now join the Army up until the age of 42 years old. Again, that age used to be 34. And I'm guessing you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. When you're in doubt, Google will help you figure it out. Look at this shit right here. So all of a sudden, people who were considered too old are now young enough to go serve. That's a big jump. That's not a small change. And I'm looking at this like, what changed? Because the requirements didn't magically get easier. It's not like this job is getting any safer. They're at war right now. So why expand it for? And you guessed it. They either need more people or they need more people. We already see what's going on in Iran. We already see what they're doing right now. So apparently they're planning for something bigger. Because you don't just wake up and say, yeah, let's add 10 more years to the limit. That's not random. Mind you, now they're saying that if you smoke marijuana, you're good. I can remember before, if you smoke marijuana, you can't get in. So basically, it seems like they're doing anything to get people in. This is one of those times where I say I'm glad to be the age that I am. But listen, crazy thing is, it's a lot of people who love to see this right here because they want to go fight. But it's some people who are not going for this bullshit. Which one are you?
The United States Army has officially increased the maximum enlistment age to 42 years old. Israel needs more people to die, and there are not enough people joining, so they think there are more people older who have passed the cutting age who want to die for it. Effective April 20, 2026, the U.S. Army raised its maximum enlistment age from 34 to 42. This policy change, announced in March 2026, aims to expand the recruitment pool and aligns with the Army and other branches like that. So they just made an announcement starting next month. If you're 36 and you thought, oh man, I've missed my chance to die for Netanyahu, I got good news for you. You can now sign up until the age 42. Good news.
This is a major update to U.S. Army recruiting regulations. Starting on April 20th, 2026, the United States Army will raise the maximum enlistment age from 34 to 42 years old and will remove the waiver requirement for individuals with a single prior conviction for marijuana possession. According to the regulation, recruits no longer need a waiver for a single conviction of possession of marijuana or possession of drug paraphernalia. Under the previous regulation, a recruit with one conviction of possession of marijuana required a waiver from officials in the Pentagon And recruits previously had to wait 24 months to enlist and would have to pass a drug test before their waiver could even be approved. The looser approach to marijuana use comes as the broader military tightens its drug policies for troops currently serving. The Army's previous age limit was 35 years old. Army recruiting officials have noted that in recent years, the average age of recruits is increasing, with officials telling reporters in 2024 that the average recruit was 22 years, 4 months, and still, quote, going.
Hey, man, I'm coming back to you guys with another one, right? Now, this is fresh off the press, right? For all of the Donald Trump meat rioters, all of the people that think, oh, we winning, we doing this, we doing that. Well, check this out. This just dropped on Task and Purpose. You can go check this out. It says Army raised enlistment age to 42, removes waiver for marijuana possession. New recruitment rules bump the age limit for recruits from 35 to 42, easing restrictions on single marijuana possession conviction. Counts for changes in society, one expert says. So, guys, they're removing, this waiver for, people that's been like caught with like small petty marijuana, because as you guys know, marijuana is pretty much legal in most of the states here in the United States. But at the end of the day, fam, if Donald Trump was winning this war, why would they need to be bumping the recruitment age up and then removing waivers off of there in order for